Hello fellow painters, welcome back to my channel. Games Workshop discontinued the Chaos Dwarfs in 2010 after the release of Warhammer Fantasy Battles, the 8th edition. Today I found for you some cool alternatives to print and paint. I hope you're gonna enjoy it, because today we're gonna paint the standard bureau from the whole unit. The whole unit you will find in the description down below, so go and check it. But in the meantime, grab your paints, brushes, and let's start. I started by using Vallejo White Ink and airbrush thinner in conjunction with my airbrush. This dynamic combination allowed me to skillfully apply a zenithal highlight to the miniature, capturing the essence of light and shadow with precision. The result is a striking contrast that serves as the foundation for the intricate details we will adding in these subsequent steps. I incorporated Vallejo White with the dry brush technique to emphasize the edges and refine the highlights on the Infernal Dwarf miniature. Using controlled strokes, I skillfully pulled out the intricate details, bringing forth a heightened level of texture and dimension. This step not only enhances the overall visual appeal, but also sets the stage for the upcoming layers of color that will truly bring our miniature to life. I took Army Painter Peachy Flesh and mixed it with Speed Paint Medium, applying the mixture with a regular brush to cover the flesh areas of the Infernal Dwarf miniature. Carefully layering the paint in two thin coats, I ensured a smooth and even application, though the exact number of layers may vary based on individual observation and preferences. This crucial step brings a warm and realistic tone to the model's flesh, creating a solid foundation for the subsequent detailing that will truly showcase the character of our Infernal Dwarf. I utilized Army Painter Bright Red mixed with Speed Paint Medium, applying the mixture to all the armor parts of the Infernal Dwarf miniature using a regular brush. A single thin layer was carefully painted with the anticipation of adding an additional layer during the detailing phase to enhance vibrancy and depth. This initial coat establishes the bold base color for the armor, setting the stage for the intricate detailing that will bring out the true character and presence of our Infernal Dwarf. Moving on, I selected Army Painter Forest Sprite for the trousers, and with each stroke of the brush I brought this captivating color to life on the Infernal Dwarf's lower garment. The rich and vibrant tones of Forest Sprite not only add a unique flair to the miniature, but have quickly become my personal favorite in this painting journey. This step marks a significant milestone in creating a visually appealing and harmonious color palette for our Infernal Dwarf, setting the stage for further embellishments and detailing in the upcoming phases. Entering the next step, I introduced Army Painter Sand Golem to paint the gold elements of the Infernal Dwarf miniature, skillfully applying the lustrous color with the regular brush. This rich and decadent hue brings a touch of opulence to the model, accentuating its regal features. Painting the gold elements not only adds a sense of prestige, but also lays the groundwork for intricate detailing and highlighting that will elevate the overall appearance of our Infernal Dwarf to new heights. I opted for Army Painter Tyrian Navy, mixed with speed paint medium, meticulously applying this dynamic composition in 2 thin layers to cover the steel armor parts of the Infernal Dwarf miniature. The deep and refined tones of Tyrian Navy lend a sense of strength and durability to the armor, creating a captivating contrast with the other color elements. This approach ensures a smooth and consistent coverage, laying the groundwork for the intricate detailing that will bring out the metallic brilliance of our Infernal Dwarf's armor in the subsequent steps. I selected Army Painter Grim Black mixed with speed paint medium to establish the base color for the beard and hair elements on the Infernal Dwarf miniature. With a single, precise layer applied, the deep richness of Grim Black sets the foundation for the intricate detailing and highlighting that will follow in the subsequent stages. This careful approach ensures a seamless and well-defined starting point, laying the groundwork for the character and depth that will be brought out in the next steps of our Infernal Dwarf painting tutorial. I combined Army Painter Peachy Flesh with Vallejo Sunny Skin Tone, showcasing that there is no need to hesitate when mixing regular paints with inks. The seamless consistency of the mixture allowed me to fearlessly paint all the flesh highlights on the Infernal Dwarf miniature. This dynamic blend adds a depth and warmth to the flesh tones, creating lifelike highlights that bring out the character's features with precision and nuance. Entering the next step, I introduced Vallejo Mirage Blue to the hair and beard elements of the Infernal Dwarf, utilizing a dry brush technique to apply the first highlight. With deliberate strokes, the Mirage Blue brings dimension and texture to the hair, enhancing the overall richness of the color. This initial highlight sets the stage for further detailing, adding a subtle yet impactful layer of depth to the Infernal Dwarf's distinct features. I brought out Vallejo Light Grey to perform the final highlight on the hair and beard elements of our Infernal Dwarf. Employing the dry brush technique once again, I carefully applied this light shade to accentuate the intricate details and bring a captivating contrast to the hair. The use of light grey as the final highlight adds the perfect finishing touch, elevating the realism and depth of the hair and beard, completing the overall look of our meticulously painted Infernal Dwarf miniature. I turned to Army Painter Grim Black mixed with Speed Paint Medium using a regular brush to meticulously address and enhance the shadows in the deepest recesses of the Infernal Dwarf miniature. With careful precision, I applied this dark mixture to fix and intensify the shadows, adding a crucial layer of depth to the model. This step ensures that the intricate details of the miniature are accentuated, creating a visual compelling and well-defined appearance that truly brings the Infernal Dwarf to life. I blended Army Painter Peachy Flash with Speed Paint Medium, applying a thin layer to paint shadows and to refine the transition from black to yellow on all gold elements of the Infernal Dwarf. With a steady hand, I delicately worked on creating a smooth transition, ensuring that the gold details maintain their luster while adding depth and definition to the shadows. This meticulously process will not only enhances the realism of the gold elements, but also contributes to the overall coherence and balance of the Infernal Dwarf's intricate color scheme. I utilized Vallejo Golden Yellow to dry brush all the gold elements of the Infernal Dwarf. Employing a gentle yet purposeful touch, this technique adds a layer of brilliance to the gold, highlighting raised surfaces and edges. The use of golden yellow in the dry brushing process brings a radiant glow to the gold elements, enhancing their visual impact and contributing to the overall opulence of our meticulously painted Infernal Dwarf miniature. I incorporated Vallejo Ice Yellow into the process, employing a reduced area for dry brushing on all the gold elements to accentuate light reflections. This strategic application adds a touch of luminosity to specific areas, creating a captivating play of light on the miniature. The use of ice yellow in this step enhances the realism of light sources and contributes to the overall dynamism of the gold elements, bringing our Infernal Dwarf to life with a stunning visual impact. I turned to Army Painter Peachy Flash, airbrushing this color from below into certain gold parts, such as the shield, to effectively fix shadows. This technique adds a subtle warmth to the undersides of the gold elements, creating a realistic interplay between light and shadow. By carefully applying Peachy Flash in this manner, we not only enhances the overall depth of the Infernal Dwarf's features, but also contribute to a nuanced and visually compelling representation of light falling on the miniature. Moving on, I employed Vallejo White Ink mixed with airbrush thinner to airbrush light reflections onto selected gold elements of the Infernal Dwarf miniature. With precision and control, this technique adds a brilliant gleam to specific areas, mimicking the effect of light catching and reflecting off the metallic surfaces. The use of white ink enhances the realism and luminosity of the gold details, contributing to the overall vibrancy and sophistication of our meticulously painted Infernal Dwarf. Moving on, I created a 50-50 mix of Army Painter Slaughter Red and Vallejo Sunny Skin Tone to paint worn and used effects on the banner of the Infernal Dwarf miniature. Utilizing a sponge as the perfect tool for this technique, I carefully applied the mixture to simulate weathering and battle-worn textures on the banner. The combination of Slaughter Red and Sunny Skin Tone adds a realistic touch to the fabric, creating a visually dynamic and textured appearance that enhances the overall narrative of our Infernal Dwarf story. In the next step, I employed Vallejo Light Grey to dry brush all the steel armor parts of the Infernal Dwarf. The objective here is to focus on the bottom parts, leaving the top parts darker to create a realistic shading effect. With a careful and deliberate approach, the drybrushing technique enhances the lower sections of the armor, highlighting them and contributing to a nuanced play of light and shadow. This strategic use of light grey adds depth and dimension to the steel armor, elevating the overall visual impact of our meticulously painted Infernal Dwarf miniature. I incorporated Vallejo White to dry brush and paint light reflections on all gold elements of the Infernal Dwarf miniature. With the delicate touch, this step adds a luminous quality to specific areas, mimicking the play of light and enhancing the overall brilliance of the gold surface. By strategically applying white, we bring out the finer detail and create a captivating contrast, elevating the realism and visual appeal of our Infernal Dwarf to new heights. In the next step, I revisited the red armor parts of the Infernal Dwarf, applying a second layer of Army Painter Blood Red mixed with Speed Paint Medium. This additional layer serves to fix and intensify the color, ensuring a vibrant and consistent appearance across all red elements. With careful brushwork, the richness of the bright red enhances the visual impact, bringing out the boldness of the Infernal Dwarf's armor and contributing to a polished and cohesive finish. In this final step, I introduced Army Painter Blood Red mixed with medium, focusing on painting only in the deepest recesses of the red armor parts to enhance the shadows. The number of layers you choose to paint is entirely up to your preferences and desired level of contrast. This strategic application of Blood Red adds depth and dimension to the shadows, contributing to a more realistic and visually engaging representation of the Infernal Dwarf's armor. I hope you have enjoyed this one. If yes, don't forget to like the recording, subscribe to the channel. If you wanna see more of those cool Infernal Dwarfs, maybe some bigger beasts of the warband, let me know in the comments down below. I will try to find something cool for you. In the meantime, have a great week and I will see you next time. Bye bye!